Back in the day, there was balance. There was common, there was tribe, and there was the hard.
There's all that balance is here now. I think more than back in the day.
Listen, he's right.
In the mainstream.
The problem is the industry, the programmers, the producers, the channels that don't show the balance. They do. Give it limelight.
J. Cole, Kendrick Lamar, these guys are all in the limelight the same way.
They're not. They're not as much as like the pop
but that's not balance.
They'll like, yeah, give them a Grammy or whatever, it's cool.
Oh yeah, just a Grammy.
You know, not 6 Grammys, let's give them 6 Grammys or whatever, yeah, it's cool.
Listen,
we know, yeah, you lot shut up. And like, bro, I told you, you know, you hear the tunes on the radio, even like the pop tunes, they're talking about getting drunk, getting mashed up. I drink a lot, like, you know what I'm saying? They're just talking about bare hedonism. Where back then, you had that, but you had a message, and there's no more message. The only thing that's popular is about going in the club.
I'm not saying this agenda's not there. Even here, I tried to put my video on SBTV the other day. I sent it to Jamal,
exactly. You've just
and he, I don't know, he was just funny about the whole thing.
Why? Because it's
I don't know. Like, someone said to me, was like, right, yeah, it's because of the message.
Where did you try and put it?
And I said this to him.
Where did you try and put it?
To SBTV. I sent it to Jamal, and I spoke to him personally, and I was like, trying to say to him, look, there's a million songs of people like rapping about getting drunk and taking drugs. No one's really done this before, and he just wasn't hearing it. It just kind of brushed me off. So I don't know. I think there is an.
You've experienced it hands on.
But no, I'm not saying exactly. So I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but I do think there is still balance out there. We can see. I think we like it is going on.
In America,
and then the worst part is that we watch it happen. We watch certain things that put in place by the industry, and then we self-police it ourselves because we've been told, oh, this is that, and we continue instead of celebrating the things we should be celebrating.
Yes, that's true. I agree with that.
But our reality ain't a mainstream reality, is it? It's like hip hop's changed from back in the 80s when the record deal was. And only the real, especially in this country, only real talent was going to really get their music out. Nowadays, you can make something. Nowadays, you can make something on your phone.
It's totally the opposite. The wackest people got their records out before anyone was like.
I suppose, opportunity happened
over here.
Yeah, it's like you get a lot of crack dealers with crack money going in the studio.
Hold on.
I respect the dead, bro. You can't even go there. Like, I just got dirt beat.
He was whack, but he was one of the first, didn't he?
Hey, he was a bad one.
He was one of the first.
He was the first to have a record out.
You got the juice. Everybody say, yeah.
There would be way before him.
He was the first to have a record out.
Because it sold out.
MC Duke. You know MC Duke is a bad man.
He was on stage at Carnival the other day. That's what it doesn't mean it's good because it's labelled as hip hop. You said it.
Look,
right there, mate.
You know what? Listen.
That's the argument I've been making all the fucking time, like, you know what I mean?
We went to the
it's
Get Down
not
screening.
just because it fucking says it is on the fucking tin. It's not Ron Sim.
I surprise a lot of people. I can walk in somewhere when I'm not wearing particularly baggy clothes or whatever. I look like just a normal skinhead white guy who's probably, I look more like NF than I do a hip hop artist. And as soon as, when I start, I might not even spit, but I might play someone a tune. Like, what, is that you? Or I might even just talk about something. And bro, people's opinions change, and you see people kind of humble themselves because they've already had a premeditated opinion of who you are. And it might just be that they don't think you're smart as you are. That they think because you've been brought up on the council estate that you ain't got no fucking brain other than outside of a street mentality. And as soon as you show them that you know how the world works, you see their eyes open, you see their jaw drop in front of you. Like they can't even hide it. So there are people have already got like predetermined ideas of who you are within about 3-4 seconds of meeting you. Yeah. And most of their first questions about you are to try and clarify whether they're right or not. Where are you from? You know what I mean?
I want to hear what she's got to say about the Get Down.
Well, I was going to say, we went to the Get Down screening, which was, it was like an invited group of people that were getting to see like the first hour-and-a-half episode of it before it came out on Netflix. So I went with John C and Reveal. There was loads of people. There was like Rodney P was there, Dynamo the Magician was there, Krept and Conan were there. There was like artists that were there, and I was a bit. I mean, it was really beautiful. It was lovely. It was such a nice screening. The CEO of Netflix was there. He gave us a talk at the beginning, and there was just the girl from Cookie Crew. I met her. She was there. She was really lovely. There was like a group of people that were there that I kind of understood why they were there. Then there was like the newer kind of younger grime MCs and stuff
Who was popular?
who looked fucking bored. Yeah, they kind of look like why am I really here? I don't really know. I'm not even really tweeting about it. You know them ones, yeah. Well, and I was a little bit like, okay, yes, very industry. It was one of them industry event things, and I've been to a lot of those kind of events, yeah. And I always noticed that, especially when we watched it, I was like, this is such a cool series. Oh, they're really paying homage to stuff. It looks so real. At the same time, there was just this element of it that was like, oh, this is what the industry have currently chosen to make popular. So now suddenly everyone's going to be talking about graffiti and rocking afros and wearing those. At the end of the day,
it was already happening slowly.
Yes, it was. But at the end of the day, there's always everything we see constantly and happening, whether we like it or not, is controlled by this elite industry and mainstream people that run it. In my opinion, same with police, yeah? Going back to what you were saying about them, like, you know, making like black men very effeminate and not intimidating, because black men in hip-hop are powerful and intimidating, and that's a problem. That's a problem with police, it's a problem on road, it's a problem anywhere. So that's their agenda of trying to play that down. I really feel like we're artists always talking about this stuff. If we really want to change shit, we need to get programmers and producers back into the BBC who are of an origin that will know about the shit you're talking about or bring stuff back. We need more educators. We need more black guys that are okay with being police officers. Because guess what? When your parents and your grandparents and your grandkids and everyone in your fucking family hates police and you're taught to hate them because they fucking kill you, you don't want to be a police officer. You're cussed to be a police officer. If anyone in my school said they're going to be a fed, they would get fucking rinsed for the whole week, yeah? But guess what? Unless you're a police officer or you start being in charge and suddenly there's 20 mandem that are police officers, policing's never going to change. It's always going to be the same shit. So we actually have to yes, we need to infiltrate the institutions. We need to go back so that we can get 279 or Sarah Love or Rodney P or whoever fucking else lost their shows on all these Choice and the Kiss and BBC and that.
I'm not even gonna go. That shit's got to be off camera when I speak to you about that shit. But you were talking about certain things infiltrating, and I was like, well, certain people lost their shows because of infiltration, man. That's all I've got to say.
I remember Kiss got taken over. Every black DJ lost their job.
So I don't want to talk to.
There is an agenda. We cannot. I think, and we know it.
Camera,
we know
man,
it.
I'm not really like. I'm not trying to. You know, like I'm scared. But I'm
And when you're someone who's promoting these guys who are sitting on a fucking major platform and going, please don't pick me up. I'm gonna lose my thoughts. Like, and you're kind of like, bruv, like there's some sick artists out there. Your manager is probably sleeping with that A&R, who probably knows that DJ, who owes them a favor or whatever. That's why you're there, and because you're there, you get to rap to 1 million kids. That's why those 1 million kids hear you and think you're cool, because you're prescribed to them for them to think you're cool. That's why SB won't put Nova's track on, because they're scared that those kids that listen to all the other shit they've prescribed to them might suddenly be like, oh, I don't know if I can take this prescription. Like,
so they're giving people banality, like through hip hop, they're brainwashing people to accept like banality and
they don't want hip hop to exist. It was too powerful.
And they're using hip hop as a tool to do that now.
It was getting too strong. It was making it too much money.
The tool, what it was meant for, what it was there for other agendas.
Yes.
To further.
The one thing they haven't been able to do that they don't like, they haven't been able to pump a lot of homosexuality into hip hop because it's quite a
I'm just blatantly gonna say this. There's certain things that are going on right now. Like I'm not even trying to be, and I'm not even taking it against the gay and lesbian community. I have no, but bro, like they've got more rights than black people. They've got more rights than they control a lot of things.
I feel sorry for the Irish, man.
A lot of people don't think they don't control a lot of things, but they do control a lot of things.
No Irish, no dogs, man. And, you know,
a lot of people lost their jobs on certain things. I remember being on One Extra back in the day, and I said like R.A.M and I talked about Sodom and Gomorrah. No, I wasn't trying to just beef, like just in the rhyme from Hungry featuring Double Edge. I just done a rhyme, and then the producer said to me on Rodney P show, "Yo, you can't say that," and I was like, "But yo, that's in the Bible." I didn't say, "Yo,
there's a lot of things
like Elton John, Sodom and Gomorrah." Like I didn't say nothing like that. Like, no one's name. Like you can check the rhyme. I just said that, and she said to me, "Yo, you need to chill with that." Like, and then I said, "Oh, I'm sorry for the line," and then Rodney said, "No, man, we apologising."
Exactly.
Like on air, like,
and if you talked about
like,
in your brother's fucking mouth and shooting
now, this is written in the Bible. Now, this is written by a person. Like, it doesn't matter whether you see it as a holy book, whether you don't. At the end of the day, it was written before there was a fucking radio station, before there was TV, before whatever. That shit was in there. So, for me to be pulled up on things what have been written before time and people trying to stop people from seeing shit, that's evident. So it's down to us. That's why it always boils down to us. Even us having these discussions now, it's down to us. So yeah, like to show our seeds, to show our people that yo, this is how hip hop went. I'm happy for the get down. It's funny that you said that with the industry folk being there, because I just happen to have a record out now and I'm popular, or I'm that person seen as urban music. We need to have the Godfathers there so no one cusses. You know what I mean? And then we're just gonna have these guys and they're bored and they don't get it. But what you have to ask yourself is, why are they bored? Why they don't get it? Why didn't the fathers show them some shit?
It goes back to me thinking personally that the grime MCs and stuff, they're their own genre. They don't have to know about it. If the film was about, if Get Down was about Wiley and what he done, what he did, I think they'd be on their fucking on their phone. They'd be into it, man. They'd be like,
listen. The grime MCs. Back to what Supernova said. The grime MCs know about hip hop. They were trying to do hip hop from day one.
Not all of them.
The creator, Wiley.
The difference between the grime, all these other genres that came after hip hop is that they had social media to document their history of. So you can go back and you can check the history. You can go back and listen to the tapes.
I'm sorry, man. I've got to disagree because before social media, our man was running around like us, going from Bongo, Mr. Bongo's with record. I got proof for this. Like they weren't doing that.
You can't clearly go back and see the history of UK.
Who was the first UK?
You can't go back and see the chronological things of how shit happened.
Yeah, and that's the problem.
That's where people like you come in. That's what I feel is a problem.
Let me ask something.
That's what I feel is a problem.
You know what I mean?
Let me ask something here. I don't agree with this, but someone said to me the same grime and hip hop today that and it relates to what you were just saying, Shay D, that what you're saying about these American artists and why they're getting pushed. Someone said to me that's why grime has become more successful, because they were allowed to do something like to be pushed forward by the industry in this country, because what they're doing is negative and creating. I strongly disagree with this statement, but so you agree?
I think I can see why someone would think that. At the same time, I know it was weird because I was talking to Tony Black recently about this discussion, and but a lot of the lyrics, I don't know. It's so this is gonna sound so dread like to grime MCs, and I don't mean it. I mean it with the utmost respect, but it's almost like what they were actually spitting, like or chatting or whatever. What they were spitting it wasn't a quotable. It didn't matter.
I asked my lady this the other day. She said the same thing.
Yeah, I feel like
because people say grime don't have content, you're like, a lot of it doesn't.
I kind of feel like for me it was the bring arms out to your mum's house. Bring arms out to your mum's house.
I don't know. Like when you hear someone like Devlin or. Because I blatantly give that kid props. You know what I'm saying? When you hear someone like Devlin, it's like you're in the mind, like, or you're getting, you're getting into where you're getting into where they're from, or whatever.
Even gets like that story about someone coming knocking down their doors and this and that.
The flow patterns are more it's more, it's sharper and faster, so it's harder to actually, you can't really get no nuance into the way you're spitting. It's all quite
but
on top of the
trying
beat.
to say,
And subject matter's got to be, you got to be sharp with your bars. You know what I mean? It's like you ain't really got that slow, that 89 BPM. That confines the substance.
Yeah, it does. But almost it didn't matter. It was just the energy in the dance, what was going on stage.
Same as the music that you're complaining about now in America.
No.
Yeah,
Bruh,
we just don't get the energy.
They can't even fucking spit a 4-bar without having a panic attack. Anxiety, bruh. Nova.
Man's talking about feminism. Like the hottest MC right now, his new cover is with like a Japanese hat and a dress.
We listened to it.
You're on about trap, bro.
I ain't heard it yet.
I heard a couple of tunes, kind of dope. Honestly.
I'm going to take a piss after that one. I can't hold it in after that one, bro.
My problem is, this is the self-policing thing we do. We start saying, grime is allowed to do this by the industry because it's negative, because it's this. Now we're as a hip-hop community painting that same picture, which is wrong.
I don't think it's just done because it's negative. I think it's done because hip-hop, as opposed to grime, it's harder to police what someone's going to say. In a hip hop, in a music format, hip hop's more diverse than grime will ever be. Yeah, so therefore, it's harder to police hip hop. So if we bring grime through and make grime a little bit more promotable, it's more dance orientated. If you know what I mean, the beats are more there ain't, apart from Devlin, and you get the odd really good grime artist, but there ain't that real philosophical KRS-One, Africa Bambaataa type. There's no teachers there because they're all too young at the moment. There's no godfather of that. Like the godfather of that shit is still, you know what I mean, as his balls drop yet. They're still young. So that industry's got to grow and evolve and work its own shit out. But it's easier for them to control that industry than subject matter wise, than hip hop, because we can talk about whatever we want. And what they tend to do with hip hop is only promote the negative. You'll get
I think
the point is that they can rap. That guy couldn't even get past going. That's like.
I think the difference
a minute
is
and a half in, man was making noises.
The grime industry is what Shay D was saying in terms of like, she was saying like we need to get in positions where we kind of control what goes on. We missed the trick where grime just went and created its own industry as the social networks was going on. So, like you said, when they were getting palmed off by the hip hop guys, to speak, they set up their own channels. They set up their own pirate radios.
Do you think
they set up their own magazine outlets
over time? That relationship between grime and hip hop, and it might create something in the future.
No, it's kind of like it could, because I'm sure some of the artists are hip hop fans. You can be influenced by different music.
Yeah,
it doesn't necessarily.
I don't like grime, but
you're right. I think it's happening already though, yeah. Just to cut an example,
and it's like what you were saying in terms of like hip hop allows you to express yourself differently just because of the tempo of the music. So even if you look like Kano's album is a bit more hip hop now. Dirty Goods is a guy who can go from whichever.
There was a check it. There was an interview, NME. It was about cult heroes, and they had like Beck and Rare and Jest was in it because he was I think it was the Arctic Monkeys. Jest, like my boy Jest, he was in it because he was one of the Arctic Monkeys heroes. Like they did different total genre of music. But like I've met I don't even know if you get Wear Cape Fly. Like I've worked with Sam Duckworth from that band, and it's like totally people, different genres of music. And I know you know about that because I know you worked with a lot of different Do you know what I'm saying? Like it doesn't matter. It just transcends. They just love that element of hip hop. Doesn't mean they have to.
It's happening already. Like obviously people are like from certain people in different genres are going to connect and respect each other. But hip hop, like artists and grime artists are connecting, but it's not the one from our quote unquote UK hip hop scene. It's gigs and the other rap, what people call UK rap artists. They connect with each other. They're definitely hip hop artists, and they connect with grime, but they don't really connect with us. because that scene we all kind of come from, it's just been too disrespectful to everybody else. That I'm about to do this on my radio show, 2 shows in a row about UK hip hop and about is grime hip hop. I'm gonna do one show with a hip hop artist as the feature, and then one with a grime artist. I'm sure the reason why people say grime isn't hip hop, like mostly people both say it, but it's for 2 different reasons. The UK hip hop guys are saying it in a disrespectful way.
Is it?
I'm not saying
Am I the only person
No,
who's not saying that shit or something?
Are you saying grime is hip hop?
Yeah, man. They man knows. I work with dudes. No. Listen. Them man know. It's like when he goes back to the whole disrespected. Them man's wanted to work with us. I can tell you. Hold up. I can show you. I remember Will telling me like, oh yo, I was getting like bare emails from like Rich 32, like the bare people in the scene, people wanted to connect with us.
But that doesn't mean hip hop. They might respect what you do.
Kaiser Merch.
I'll give you a perfect example. Public Enemy working with Anthrax.
Yeah. They're working with Rage Against the Machine right now. Yeah.
But Rage Against the Machine is like Rage Against the Machine. I would probably consider hip hop.
Why?
No.
Why?
I'll explain why.
Because it's rapping over rock. So you can't have rapping over garage. You can't have rapping over
No, I'm not saying that. That's what you just said. I didn't say that. I didn't say that. Because the way I look at hip hop isn't about what you do. I've said this to
about what you want change.
No, it's what's in it and why you do it. It's not what you do, it's why you do it. And that's what makes you hip hop. So for instance, Lauren Hill to me is as hip hop as you want. But if you were just to talk about what she actually does, she most probably would fall into R&B.
What?
But she is hip hop as
it's Pra's and MC. There's a topic for discussion.
It goes back
on topic, though,
either which way, whether you like it or not, to your preference, your opinion, your definition.
Which is a problem.
My preference, my opinion, my definition was going to be different.
If the roots of if hip hop as a culture, first of all, the actual word culture, you can't define the word culture, which is another argument altogether. But let's just use it for the sake of argument. We had this discussion the other day with T and that. If hip hop as a culture has no actual boundaries, it doesn't have any boundaries. Like with Iranian culture,
like an ever-expanding universe type.
Like if we talk about Iranian culture, and for the sake of argument, we know there are certain things in Iranian culture and there are certain things that are not in Iranian culture.